Men, let's talk about the silent contract you may have unknowingly signed in your marriage, the unhappiness contract. This is the agreement, often unspoken, that if you just sacrifice enough, if you bend your values, give up your comfort, or endure enough stress, you can somehow, finally, make your wife happy. You believe that her nagging, her drama, or her list of demands is a roadmap to marital peace. The truth is, this pursuit is an endless, soul-crushing waste of your time and your life force. You are a good man, and you are wired to problem solve and provide, but you cannot solve an emotional crisis that you did not create. The demands on this list aren't about practical needs. They are about coercing you into believing that you are the solution to her internal unhappiness. Every time you agree to one of these items against your better judgment, you are signing away a piece of your dignity, your financial security, and your mental health. I've seen countless men over the last 5 years destroy their peace, chasing this phantom of female happiness. Today, we are retiring this list. If you've ever felt pressured to do something you know is wrong just to get a moment of peace, hit that like button now. Tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? And please subscribe to secure your place in this community focused on male vitality. The myth is that your wife's unhappiness is a puzzle you can solve through sufficient effort, money, or sacrifice. The health critical truth is this: unhappy people cannot be made happy by external factors, and there is nothing you can do to fill the emptiness she carries within her. She didn't get the wrong husband. She is a woman who, to some degree, carries an internal dissatisfaction. This is an internal problem that she must fix through personal accountability. When she coerces you into making these sacrifices, she is implying that you are the impediment to her happiness. She may not say it, but the pressure implies if you would just do this one thing, the problem would be solved. Biologically, when you agree to these demands against your internal conviction, you create cognitive dissonance, internal conflict. This stress elevates your cortisol and erodes your sense of masculine control, lowering testosterone, making you feel emasculated and degraded, ultimately accelerating biological aging. Practically, the moment you fulfill demand number 1, demand number 2 is already on the list. The good man must retire from the job of wife happiness manager. Retention hook. Before we dive into the list, I want you to think about what you have already done, believing it would finally bring peace. Share it in the comments. Let's see how common this trap is. In my clinical experience, these 10 items are the most frequent, high-stakes ways a good man sacrifices his well-being under the illusion of solving a marital problem. I want to be clear. If you and your wife mutually agree on these things because they align with both of your values, that's a different story. The danger lies in agreeing because you are being coerced, manipulated, or led to believe it will solve a problem that is not yours to fix. We must treat these demands as red flags that signal a deeper problem. Your wife is deeply unhappy with herself. 10. Moving to another city just to make her happy. The demand: she wants to move closer to or further from family, escape the small town, or jump to the big city, insisting this location change is the key to her contentment. Biologically, constant, unnecessary upheaval creates chronic adrenaline stress. It destroys the stability that grounds masculine energy and focuses on purpose. You lose professional momentum and personal peace. Emotionally, you become a puppet in a geographic chase for happiness. You are denied the stability and rootedness that define a home. Practically, the grass is never greener. She will take her unhappiness with her, and then the cycle repeats, costing you thousands in moving expenses and career stability. This next demand uses the children against you. 9. Agreeing to get a dog, puppy, against your will. The demand: she uses the kids and sentimentality to coerce you into adding a high-maintenance animal to the family, despite your explicit reservations about the responsibility. Biologically, if you are the one who knows you will end up carrying the weight, it adds non-stop, low-grade stress to your life. It's another responsibility that wasn't chosen, fueling resentment. Emotionally, this is a red flag signaling her unfulfilled desire for emotional connection and her willingness to manipulate you and the family unit to get it. Practically, you get the responsibility, the stress, and the mess while she gets the initial emotional rush. This demand puts a massive strain on your financial health. 8. Agreeing to let her quit her job out of boredom, coercion. The demand. She wants to quit working because she's unhappy, bored, or thinks being home will be a solution, despite the financial stress it places on you. Biologically, suddenly doubling the financial burden directly increases the stress hormone cortisol. It restricts your freedom and increases anxiety, knowing you are the single point of failure. Emotionally, many unhappy women who quit find themselves with zero structure, becoming more bored, entitled, and a nightmare to live with, projecting their lack of purpose onto you. Practically, structure is vital for adult fulfillment. Lack of structure leads to emotional chaos, which you then have to manage. This one is a petty, daily emasculation. 7. Taking over grocery shopping errands to avoid her anger. The demand. She insists you take over or accompany her, and then uses your attempts to fulfill the task as an excuse for criticism. You bought the wrong brand. You paid too much. Biologically, this creates a predictable pain and punishment response. Your brain learns that attempting to help results in shaming, leading to passive withdrawal and learned helplessness. Emotionally, you are constantly made to feel incompetent and wrong in small daily tasks, eroding your overall sense of capability and dignity. Practically, it's a classic example of her outsourcing a task only to use your effort as proof that you are inadequate. This is the ultimate betrayal of your masculine safety. 6. Agreeing to open the marriage. The demand. She coerces you into agreeing to an open marriage, polyfidelity, swinging, etc., often using the manipulative line, "If you loved me, you would let me explore this." Biologically, this is a catastrophic destruction of the male brain's need for sexual certainty and commitment. It spikes adrenaline and cortisol to dangerous levels, leading to acute anxiety, depression, and a total loss of security. Emotionally, you will feel crushed, devastated, and completely betrayed. A good man cares enough about his wife that he will sacrifice his core emotional needs for her happiness, but this leads to his total psychological destruction. Practically, this is a direct pathway to divorce and is a non-starter for preserving the good man's sanity. Never agree to this. This demand uses your body as a bargaining chip. 5. Agreeing to a vasectomy under coercion. The demand. She insists you take responsibility for permanent birth control, shaming you with claims of her difficult births or previous procedures. Biologically, being coerced into a procedure, especially one that impacts fertility, can feel like a violation of bodily autonomy, triggering profound psychological resentment and emasculation. Emotionally, it is a power play where she forces you to bear the physical risk and decision without mutual, willing agreement, proving she prioritizes her comfort over your autonomy. Practically, the resentment will simmer, and the procedure will not solve the deeper problems in the marriage. The next two demands are classic distractions from life. 4. Agreeing to have another baby. The demand. She suddenly wants a third child or a child after previously agreeing not to have any, thinking a new baby will fix the emptiness or complete the family. Biologically, having a baby is a massive stressor. Agreeing to it under duress, knowing it's a distraction from real problems, increases anxiety over the long term, both financial and practical. Emotionally, a baby is used as an emotional band-aid. The rush of new baby energy fades quickly, and the underlying marital issues return, now compounded by more stress. Practically, you are multiplying the problem, not solving it. 3. Agreeing to constant remodeling projects. The demand. She constantly initiates new, expensive, high-stress remodeling projects, often starting the next before the last is finished, with no regard for your time or the family budget. Biologically, constant chaos, noise, financial strain, and lack of completion are huge sources of chronic stress. This keeps you in an agitated state, burning through your reserve energy. Emotionally, this is a classic distraction technique where she focuses obsessively on fixing the outside, the house, so she doesn't have to deal with the chaos on the inside. Practically, you feel taken for granted. Your time, energy, and money are sacrificed for her temporary cosmetic fix. This demand is a direct attack on your masculine decompression. 2. Agreeing to stop cutback drinking, responsible use. The demand, she nags you to cut back on your responsible, normal drinking, a glass of wine, 2 beers after work, projecting her issues or need for control onto your responsible habit. Biologically, you lose a small, healthy release valve for stress. More importantly, agreeing to give up a responsible pleasure under duress is an act of submission, further eroding your dignity. Emotionally, you are being told that your habits, even reasonable ones, are immature or problematic, reinforcing the belief that you are always wrong. Practically, if your drinking is responsible, her demand is purely about control. Do not cede ground on responsible, chosen pleasure. 1. Agreeing to go to counseling because she says you're the problem. The demand. She insists you go to individual or couples counseling because your trauma, your childhood, or your defects are the reason the marriage is unhappy. Biologically, being forced into a therapeutic setting under the premise that you are weak or broken causes shame and degradation. This can spike anxiety and cause you to withdraw further. Emotionally, she is using counseling as a weapon to validate her psychoanalysis of you. A good man is typically adjusted and a problem solver. Being labeled broken is deeply emasculating. Practically, retire from being psychoanalyzed. If you go, ensure it is to set boundaries and gain tools for yourself, not to fix her emptiness. Men, you must retire from the job of managing her happiness. Your mission now is to manage your own peace and dignity. 1. The core refusal, state the truth respectfully. The plan. When a coercive demand from this list is presented, state your refusal and the reason, dignity, finance, values, and do not argue the details. What to say. Calm, but final. I hear you want to move, but I am not sacrificing my career or our stability to chase happiness. I am not agreeing to that. Or, I am not agreeing to a remodeling project right now. Our finances and my energy need stability. The goal. You interrupt the cycle of coercion. You communicate that you are leading based on strong principles, not emotional manipulation. 2. The retirement vow. Invest in internal strength. The plan. Redirect the massive energy you once spent managing her demands into areas that make you feel strong, capable, and purposeful. What to commit to. Focus on intense physical strength training to boost testosterone and confidence. Double down on your career or a meaningful hobby. Cultivate peace in your own time and space. The emotional impact. You become a man who is internally fulfilled. When you are complete, her demands lose their power over you. 3. The power check. If you do it for you. The plan, if you choose to do something on this list, like a chore or a compromise, do it because it aligns with your value system. E.g., I value a clean home, not because you think it will lead to her happiness. The rule, you are not doing it to solve a problem or earn a reward. You are doing it because you are a capable man who chooses to. You are not responsible for the burden of making another human being happy. The pain you feel is a sign that you are a good man who was trying too hard to solve a problem that wasn't yours. Retire from the chaos, embrace your stability.